Barzillai the Gileadite, quiet loyalty that changed history. 2 Sam 17:27-29. In times of great upheaval and betrayal, when even the strongest seemed to fall prey to fear or ambition, the true character of a person was revealed. And in those dark days, the example of a man named Barzillai shone brightly. King David, once a mighty and victorious warrior, was going through the darkest season of his life. His own son Absalom had led a rebellion, and David, along with a small group of loyal followers, was forced to flee Jerusalem, leaving behind his throne, his glory, and everything he held dear. Their path led through deserts where the scorching sun exhausted them, and hunger and thirst became their constant companions. Many turned their backs on David in those days. Many chose not to risk their safety for a king who seemed to have lost God's favor. But among the indifference and betrayal, there stood an old man from Gilead, Barzillai. He was over 80 years old, yet his heart remained young in its loyalty. Without hesitation, Barzillai gathered provisions, beds, food, and supplies, everything needed for survival, and went to help the king in exile. He did not come with a sword in hand or with loud promises. He came with practical help, with care and compassion that were worth more than any army at that moment. When David returned victorious to Jerusalem, he did not forget his benefactor. David invited Barzillai to move to the royal palace where he would be honored and richly provided for. Yet Barzillai declined. His answer was full of humility. "I am old. Can I still enjoy food and drink? Can I still hear the voices of singers? Why should I be a burden to the king? Let me return to my own city, to the land of my fathers, and there rest in peace." Instead, he offered a young man named Chimham to go in his place, entrusting the future to a new generation. In our time, when the pursuit of fame and advantage has become common, the figure of Barzillai reminds us, true greatness lies not in elevating oneself, but in serving others, selflessly, quietly, and with a pure heart. His name is remembered in Scripture not because of wealth or battles won, but because of a simple act of mercy. And that is why Barzillai, though he lived long ago, remains an everlasting example for all who seek to be faithful, both in great things and small. What this story teaches us. The story of Barzillai teaches us that true greatness is not about seeking recognition, power, or reward. It is about faithfulness in times of darkness, compassion when others are indifferent, and humility when honored. It reminds us that the most powerful acts are often quiet ones, acts of loyalty, generosity, and wisdom. Barzillai's legacy lives not because of mighty deeds or loud proclamations, but because he stood firm when loyalty was rare. In a world where many seek to rise higher, he chose instead to lift others up, and by doing so, he found a place of honor, not just in a king's memory, but in the eternal pages of Scripture.